Okay, so like, are you ready to dive into this story about a 17-year-old who built like $1 million business empire?
I am.
You might be thinking, oh, it was easy for him. Like, he probably had some crazy advantage, right?
Yeah.
But what if I told you he started with like nothing,
Good.
but hustle and a knack for spotting like opportunities where everyone else saw roadblocks?
Interesting.
So that's the story of Daniel, and we're going to go deep into this interview with him to figure out exactly how he did it.
That's exciting.
So,
Let's do it.
yeah, let's do it. So tell me what fascinates you the most about Daniel's story.
Well, honestly, what I think is so fascinating about Daniel is that, like, his journey, it really embodies the spirit of, today's digital world.
Mm-hmm.
He started making serious money.
Okay.
Like, we're talking $500,000 a month on Snapchat
Whoa, hold on.
when he was only 15.
15.
Check.
That's like younger than most kids with their first part-time job.
It is.
How is he making that kind of cash on Snapchat?
I know, it's mind-blowing, right? So it was all about short-form content,
That's-
even back then.
Okay.
He basically just tapped into Snapchat's ad revenue system.
Right.
Figured out what worked and just scaled it up big time.
Okay.
But then
Right.
as Snapchat's popularity started to,
Yeah.
fade.
Yeah, it's not as popular as it used to be.
Right. He didn't just like sit back and watch his income disappear.
So what did he do?
What did he do?
Yeah, did he jump on the next big thing?
Exactly.
Yeah.
He took his understanding of short form content and pivoted to YouTube Shorts.
Smart.
Yeah. And now
Mm-hmm.
this is where it gets interesting,
Okay.
especially if you're thinking about like monetizing your own content.
Yeah.
Daniel says that YouTube Shorts was paying like $15 to $25 per 1,000 views,
Wow.
which was actually better than TikTok at the time.
So there's a takeaway right there.
Totally.
If you're creating short videos, compare the earning potential on different platforms.
Yeah,
Don't just go with what's trendy.
exactly.
But let's get back to Daniel.
Yeah.
This move to YouTube Shorts led him to his next big venture, right?
It did. He co-founded this AI-powered software company called Creo.
Creo. Okay.
And the idea came from like a pain point he and his business partner Musa were experiencing.
Okay.
Editing their short videos was eating up a ton of their time.
Yeah, editing can be such a time suck.
Oh, tell me about it.
So what exactly does Creo do? Is
Yeah.
it like a supercharged editing app?
It's more than that.
Yeah.
Think of it as automating the entire process of creating short videos.
Wow.
Like Creo handles script writing,
Okay.
captions, animations, music, even those trendy like text captions you see everywhere these days.
Right.
It can even generate AI images and voiceovers.
So you don't even have to be on camera if you don't want to.
Exactly.
Wow. That's a lot packed into one piece of software.
It is.
But, there are a ton of video editing tools out there.
Sure.
What makes Creo stand out?
Right.
Aside from, being co-founded by a teenager who's already made a fortune.
Well, that's a fair question. One thing that Daniel really emphasizes is their focus on user experience.
Okay.
They've made sure that Creo has a clean and intuitive interface,
Yeah.
even though it's packed with all these powerful features.
Right.
They understood that even the best technology is useless if people can't figure out how to use it.
So true. The best tool is the one you actually use.
Exactly.
But let's get down to business.
Okay.
Literally, how does Creo make money?
Right.
Is it a subscription model?
It's a bit more nuanced than that. And this is where their business model gets really clever.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
So you see, users need Creo to make money on platforms like YouTube and TikTok.
Okay.
It's not just a nice to have, it's part of their content creation workflow.
So how does that work exactly?
So Creo uses a credit-based system.
Okay.
You use credits to access different features and create videos.
Mm-hmm.
And the more content you create, the more you're likely to earn on those platforms, right? So users are incentivized to reinvest their earnings back into Creo to access more features and scale their content creation.
That's actually brilliant.
Right.
It creates this like self-sustaining cycle.
Yeah,
The more successful you are using Creo, the more you're likely to invest back into it.
exactly.
It's like they've aligned their success with the success of their users.
Totally.
And speaking of success, how well is Creo actually doing?
Let's just say they're not struggling.
Okay.
They went from making like $50,000 in their first month to somewhere between $500,000 and $600,000 a month within a year.
Hold on. That's not just growth. That's like a hockey stick through the roof.
It is.
What was the secret sauce behind that kind of explosive growth?
Well, you can't ignore Daniel's marketing genius.
Okay.
They didn't just try to sell Creo as a standalone product.
Right.
Instead, they focused on outcomes.
What do you mean by outcomes?
They position Creo as like a key step in the process of creating successful content.
Okay.
Think about it.
Yeah.
If you're teaching people how to make money on YouTube Shorts,
Mm-hmm.
integrating Creo seamlessly into that process just makes perfect sense.
So it's not just buy our software.
Right.
It's here's how to achieve this goal. And by the way, Creo can help you get there faster and easier.
Exactly.
Sneaky but effective.
It's all about providing a solution, not just selling a product.
I like it.
And then there's their affiliate program.
Okay.
They leverage both public and private partnerships with creators who actually use and believe in Creo.
So it's real users vouching for the product.
Exactly.
That's way more powerful than some random influencer who's just reading a script.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's authentic advocacy, and it works.
Yeah.
In 1 month, they estimated their affiliates drove around $90,000 in revenue.
Wow. That's impressive.
Yeah.
But it sounds like a lot of their marketing is tied to education. You
Mhm.
mentioned they teach people how to make money on YouTube and TikTok, right?
Right. Both Daniel and Musa offer paid programs that walk people through the process.
Okay.
But here's the genius part.
Okay.
It's not just about the income from those courses.
Okay. So there's more to it than just selling courses.
Exactly.
I'm sensing a theme here.
Yeah.
Daniel seems to have this knack for turning everything into a self-sustaining system.
You got it. Think of the paid programs as a funnel.
Okay.
They generate cash flow, which is great,
Yeah.
but they also educate and equip people with the skills to actually utilize Creo effectively.
So they're essentially creating their own ideal customer base
Right.
by teaching people the skills they need to get the most out of Creo.
Exactly.
It's like a built-in marketing machine.
It is.
I have to give them props for that. That's some seriously smart thinking.
For sure. And it doesn't stop there.
It doesn't.
No. They took this concept even further with something called Viral Engine.
Viral engine.
Yeah.
What's that? Some kind of secret weapon for going viral?
It's a newsletter,
Okay.
but not just any newsletter.
All right.
They built a subscriber base of over 800,000 people in just 7 months.
Hold up. 800,000 subscribers in 7 months. That's insane. What's the secret?
They're delivering high-quality, unlisted YouTube videos packed with actionable insights on how to go viral and monetize content.
So it's like a masterclass in online success.
Right.
Delivered straight to your inbox.
Exactly.
Oh, no wonder they're racking up subscribers.
Yes.
Who wouldn't want access to that kind of insider information?
I know, right?
So they're using this newsletter to promote Creo, right?
That's part of it, but it's bigger than that.
Okay.
Viral Engine is an asset they can use to launch new software companies or boost their existing ones.
Wait, so they've got this multi-pronged approach going on.
Yeah.
They're making money from the newsletter itself.
Yeah.
They're promoting Creo.
Yep.
And they're also using it as a platform to launch even more businesses.
Right.
My head is spinning.
I know, it's a lot.
And that's not even touching on Daniel's personal brand and
Right.
how he uses YouTube to connect with his audience.
Exactly.
We'll dive into that in a bit, but it's another piece of this puzzle where he's built something that's both valuable and strategically aligned with his business goals.
It really is.
Okay, before we move on, can we just pause for a second and acknowledge that this guy,
Yeah.
at 17, has essentially created a multi-layered business ecosystem that's feeding itself and growing at an insane pace.
Right.
It's kind of mind-blowing, right?
It is. And what's even more impressive is that he's doing it all while staying true to his values.
Mm.
You know, he's focused on building genuine connections,
Yeah.
providing real value, and empowering others to succeed.
All right, I'm hooked. Let's hear more about this personal brand strategy. How does he use YouTube to connect with his audience on a deeper level?
Let's do it. So Daniel's YouTube strategy, it's all about quality over quantity.
Okay.
He focuses on creating these high-quality videos that he releases like less frequently,
Interesting.
you know, rather than churning out daily content like a lot of creators do.
That is interesting. It seems like the prevailing wisdom these days is to post as often as possible to stay relevant.
Right.
Why do you think he's going against the grain with this approach?
I think he's found that by putting more time and effort into each video,
Mm-hmm.
the payoff in terms of engagement and brand building is significantly higher.
Okay.
You know, remember, he's not just after views.
Right.
He's building a community of people who see him as like a trusted source of information and inspiration.
So it's about making each video count,
Exactly.
not just flooding the platform with content.
Right.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But what about the content itself?
Yeah.
What kind of videos is he creating?
Think of his videos as mini documentaries.
Okay.
He's really intentional about the storytelling aspect. He creates a clear narrative arc
Okay.
with highs and lows, challenges overcome, and ultimately like a satisfying resolution.
So it's not just about delivering information.
Right.
It's about taking the viewer on a journey.
Exactly.
Hmm.
And he uses all the tools of filmmaking to enhance that journey.
Okay.
Dramatic visuals,
Mm-hmm.
sound design, even strategic location changes to keep viewers engaged.
So it's like watching a mini-movie,
Right.
not just a typical how-to video.
Exactly.
I can see how that would make his content stand out.
Yeah,
I mean, people are bombarded with so much content these days.
they are.
You really need to grab their attention and hold it.
You do.
But beyond the production quality, what is it about his content that resonates with people?
I think he's just very authentic and relatable.
Okay.
He doesn't shy away from sharing his struggles and vulnerabilities.
Mm-hmm.
He talks openly about his failures and what he's learned from them.
Right.
That humanizes him and makes him more relatable to his audience.
So it's not just about projecting an image of success.
Right.
It's about being real and letting people see the whole picture.
Exactly. And I think that's a big part of why people trust him.
Yeah.
They see him as someone who's been through the trenches, who's made mistakes, but who's ultimately come out on top.
Okay, I'm starting to see the bigger picture here.
Yeah.
He's created this multifaceted business ecosystem.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the marketing genius, the high-quality content, and the genuine personality to back it all up.
He does.
But you mentioned something earlier about unconventional networking strategies.
Oh, yeah.
What's that all about?
This is where things get really interesting.
Okay.
He's not afraid to think outside the box when it comes to building relationships.
Okay.
With people he admires and wants to learn from.
Okay. I'm all ears. Give me an example.
So remember how he built Creo with his business partner, Musa?
Yep.
Well, he actually paid for a warm introduction to Musa.
Really?
Yeah. He understood the value of having someone he trusted make that connection.
Wow, he literally invested in that relationship.
Yeah.
Most people wouldn't even consider that, but it makes sense if you think about it.
Right.
It's like cutting through the noise and getting straight to the source.
Exactly. He's also been known to offer to pay for an hour of someone's time.
Wow.
If it means, getting the chance to pick their brain and learn from their experience.
That's bold.
Yeah.
But again, it shows how much he values relationships and access to the right people.
Mm-hmm.
He's not just trying to network, he's strategically building his inner circle.
I think so.
Yeah.
And it's not just about what he can get from these connections.
Okay.
He's also incredibly generous with his own time and knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
He's constantly sharing insights, connecting people, and fostering a sense of community amongst young entrepreneurs.
So it's a two-way street. He's investing in relationships, but he's also giving back to his community.
Exactly. And I think that's a big part of his success.
Yeah.
He understands that building a supportive network is crucial for any entrepreneur, especially in the early stages.
This reminds me of something we talked about earlier.
Oh,
His philosophy of building a winning team by surrounding himself with people he genuinely likes and enjoys spending time with.
it's all connected.
Yeah.
He's applying that same philosophy to his networking.
Okay.
He's not just trying to connect with anyone and everyone.
Right.
He's seeking out people who align with his values and who he can learn from and grow with.
This is making me rethink my whole approach to networking.
Really?
It's not just about collecting business cards.
Right.
It's about building genuine relationships with people who can enrich your life and your work.
Totally.
And don't forget, he's doing all of this without being a big reader.
Wait, he's built this whole empire and he's not a bookworm.
Nope.
That's surprising. I'm a total book nerd.
Yeah.
But I can see the value in his approach. He's finding the information he needs
Right.
in ways that work for him.
It's about being resourceful and finding what works best for you.
Totally.
He's not limited by conventional methods. He's creating his own path to success.
And speaking of creating his own path,
There's this quote from Daniel that really stuck with me. He said, "The source of insecurity is comparing your behind-the-scenes moments to everyone's highlights."
that's so true.
It's such a powerful insight,
It is.
especially in today's world where we're constantly bombarded with everyone's perfectly curated online personas.
It's so easy to fall into that comparison trap.
And it's
Feel like we're not doing enough or that we're not as successful as everyone else.
right.
But Daniel's reminding us that we're only seeing a fraction of the story.
Exactly. We're comparing our struggles to other people's highlight reels.
Right.
And that's a recipe for feeling inadequate.
It is.
So how do we break free from this comparison trap? What advice would you give to someone who's feeling overwhelmed by the pressure to keep up with everyone else?
I think it's about shifting your focus.
Okay.
Instead of comparing yourself to others, focus on your own journey,
Yeah.
your own progress, and your own definition of success, Remember, everyone's path is different,
Right.
and there's no one-size-fits-all timeline for achieving your goals.
That's great advice. It's
Did you-
so easy to get caught up in the hustle culture and feel like we're falling behind.
Yeah,
But it's important to remember that success is a marathon, not a sprint.
so true. And don't be afraid to celebrate your own wins,
Yeah.
no matter how small they may seem.
Right.
Every step forward is a victory worth acknowledging.
That's so true. We often get so caught up in striving for the next big thing that we forget to appreciate the progress we've already made.
Exactly. And remember, failure is an inevitable part of the process. Everyone makes mistakes.
Right.
Even Daniel.
Yeah.
It's how you learn and grow from those mistakes that matters.
He actually shared another great analogy about this.
Oh, yeah.
He said, if a bird lands on a branch, does it trust the branch or does it trust its wings? I've seen many branches break when birds are on them, and the bird never falls and dies. It always flies off because
Yeah.
it trusts its wings.
That's a good one.
What a brilliant way to illustrate the importance of self-reliance and trusting in your own abilities.
Right. You can't always control external circumstances,
Yeah.
but you can control how you respond to them.
It's about having faith in yourself and your ability to navigate whatever challenges come your way.
And that confidence comes from taking action,
Okay.
putting yourself out there and learning from your experiences.
Daniel is living proof that you don't need years of experience or a fancy degree to succeed.
Right.
You just need a clear vision, a willingness to learn, and the courage to take action.
His story is so inspiring because he's not just talking about success.
Right.
He's embodying it.
Yeah.
And he's doing it all while staying true to his values and building a business and a life that he can be proud of.
So we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
We've talked about his business empire, his marketing genius, his personal brand, his networking strategies, and his philosophy on life and success.
Yes, amazing.
What's next on our deep dive agenda?
Well, now that we've explored the big picture,
Yeah.
let's zoom in on some of the specific strategies and tactics that Daniel uses in his day-to-day life.
Okay.
We'll take a closer look at how he creates those compelling YouTube videos, how he structures his workday, and how he builds and manages his team.
Sounds good. Let's get into the nitty-gritty details and see what other gems we can uncover.
Let's do it.
Okay, so let's get into like the nitty-gritty, of Daniel's day-to-day strategies, starting with like those captivating YouTube videos he creates.
Right.
We talked about the quality over quantity approach, but like what are some specific tactics he uses to make his content stand out?
One thing that really struck me was his emphasis on storytelling.
Yeah.
It's not just about presenting information.
Right.
It's about like weaving a narrative
Okay.
that keeps viewers hooked. He talked about the importance of a clear story arc.
Like a beginning, middle, and end
Arc.
with conflict and resolution.
Right.
He's basically treating his YouTube videos like mini-movies.
He is. And he uses all the tools of filmmaking
Right.
to enhance that narrative. You know, dramatic visuals, sound design, strategic location changes.
Yeah.
It's all carefully crafted
Wow.
to evoke an emotional response from the viewer.
It's like he's pulling you into his world,
Right.
making you feel like you're right there with him on his journey.
Yeah.
And then speaking of journeys, he doesn't shy away from showing the less glamorous side of entrepreneurship, does he?
Not at all.
Yeah.
He's very open about his struggles, his setbacks, even his moments of self-doubt.
Yeah.
I think that's what makes him so relatable to his audience.
It's refreshing to see someone who's achieved so much success
Right.
still be so grounded and human. It makes you realize that everyone faces challenges,
Yeah.
no matter how successful they become.
For sure.
Okay, so we've got like the compelling content down.
Okay.
But what about reaching the right audience?
Right.
How does he approach networking and building those valuable connections?
Or remember how he paid for a warm introduction to his business partner, Musa?
Yeah.
That wasn't a one-off thing.
Yeah.
He's actually a big believer in investing in relationships.
So it's not just about attending networking events and handing out business cards. It's about being strategic and intentional
Yeah.
about who you connect with.
He said he's even willing to pay for an hour of someone's time
Really?
if it means getting the chance to learn from their experience.
Wow.
He sees it as an investment in his own growth and development.
That's a pretty bold approach.
It is.
But I can see the logic behind it.
Yeah.
Time is our most valuable resource.
It is.
And he's recognizing that.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about team building.
Okay.
He's got this unique philosophy about hiring people he genuinely likes
Yeah.
and enjoys spending time with.
It goes against the traditional wisdom of keeping your personal and professional lives separate.
Right.
But for Daniel, it's about building a company culture where everyone feels connected and supported.
It's like he's creating a family, not just a team.
Right.
And I bet that fosters a level of trust and collaboration that you wouldn't find in a more traditional work environment.
Totally.
And this approach extends to how he structures his own workday.
Oh, really?
No rigid schedules or strict routines for this guy.
Interesting. So how does he manage to get everything done?
I know, right?
Seems like he's got a million things going on.
He does. His secret weapon.
What's that?
He focuses on one thing at a time.
Okay.
He prioritizes the most important tasks for that day
Yeah.
and tackles them head-on without getting bogged down in distraction.
It's that single-tasking superpower we were talking about earlier.
It is.
It seems counterintuitive in our multitasking culture,
Right.
but it's clearly working for him.
And he's not afraid to delegate. He's
Yeah.
built a strong team that he trusts to handle the day-to-day operations,
Right.
which frees him up to focus on the bigger picture.
It's about working smarter, not harder, and surrounding yourself with people who can support your vision
Yeah.
and help you achieve your goals.
And he's constantly learning from the people around him, especially his business partners.
Yeah.
He sees them as mentors and sources of inspiration. It's that constant pursuit of knowledge and growth
Yeah,
that really sets him apart.
I think so.
He's not content to rest on his laurels. He's always looking for ways to improve and expand his horizons.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into Daniel's world,
Yeah.
what are some key takeaways you think our listeners can apply to their own lives?
Honestly, where do we even begin?
I know it's a lot.
This guy is a walking masterclass
Right.
in entrepreneurship, marketing, personal branding, and just overall success.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest lessons is the importance of being adaptable.
Okay.
You know, the digital landscape is constantly changing, and those who can pivot and embrace new opportunities will thrive.
Like when Daniel shifted from Snapchat to YouTube Shorts.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That took guts and foresight.
Yeah, it did.
And don't underestimate the power of building genuine connections. Whether it's your team, your network, or your audience,
Right.
relationships are the heart of any successful venture.
I agree. And never stop learning.
Yes.
Whether it's from books, mentors, or your own experiences.
Right,
The
yeah.
more you learn, the more you grow.
I think Daniel said it best himself.
Oh, yeah.
Anybody can do it. It's
Yeah.
just all the information is accessible. You just have to access it and then practice it.
So good. So for anyone listening who's feeling inspired by Daniel's story, I say, what are you waiting for?
Right.
Take that first step, however small it may seem.
Yeah.
You never know where it might lead you.
And remember, success isn't a destination. It's a journey. Embrace the challenges, learn from your mistakes, and never stop striving to be the best version of yourself.
That's a wrap on our deep dive into the world of Daniel, the teenage entrepreneur who's rewriting the rules of success.
What a story.
We hope you found it as insightful and inspiring as we did.
I know I did.
Until next time, keep diving deep.